Yeah, let's go to the video. You probably know the feeling. Your phone others is final, plaintive, blip, and cuts you the middle of your call. In that moment, you may feel more like throwing your battery across the room than singing its praises. But batteries are a trump of science. They allow smartphones and other technologies to exist without anchoring us to an informal tank of power cables. Yet, even the best batteries will diminish daily, slowly losing capacity until they finally die. So, why does this happen, and how do your batteries even store so much charger in the first place? It all started in the 1780s with two Italian scientists, Luigi Galvani and Alessandro Volta, and a frog. Legend has it that as Galvani was studying frogs, he brushed a metal instrument up against one of its nerves, making the leg muscles jerk. Galvani called this animal electricity, believing that a type of electricity was stored in the very stuff of life. But Volta disagreed, arguing that it was the metal itself that made the leg twitch. The debate was eventually settled with Volta's groundbreaking experiment. He tested his idea with a stack of alternating layers of zinc and copper, separated by paper or cloth soaked in a salt water solution. What happened in Volta's cell is something James now call oxidation and reduction. The zinc oxidizes, which means it lost electrons, which are in turn gained by the ions in the water in a process called reduction. Production hydrogen gas. Volta would have been shocked to learn that he thought the reaction was happening in the copper rather than the solution. Nonetheless, we honor Volta's discovery by naming our standard unit of electric potential the volt. This oxidation reduction cell creates a flow of electrons between two substances. And if you hook a liquid bulb or vacuum cleaner up between the two, you'll give it power. Since the 17th century have improved on Volta design, they replaced the chemical solution with dry self filled with chemical paste. But the principle is the same. A metal oxidizes, sending electrons to do some work before they are regained by a substance being reduced. But any battery has a finite supply of metal, and once most of it has oxidized, the battery dies. So, rechargeable batteries give us a temporary solution to this problem by making the oxidation reduction process reversible. Electron can flow back in the opposite direction with the application of electricity. Plugging in a charger draws the electricity from a wall outlet that drives the reaction to regenerate the metal, making more electrons available for oxidation the next time you need them. But even rechargeable batteries don't last over time. The repetition of this process causes imperfection and irregularities in the metal surface that prevent it from oxidizing properly. The electrons are no longer available to flow through a circuit, and the battery dies. Some everyday chargeable batteries will after only hundreds of recharger cycle, while never advanced batteries can survive and function for thousands. Batteries of the future may be like tin sheets that operate on the principle of quantum physics and last for hundreds of thousands of charging cycles. But until scientists find a way to take advantage of motion to recharge your cell battery like a car do, or fit solar panel somewhere on your device, plugging your charger into the wall, rather than expanding one battery to charge another. It's your best bet to forestall that fatal tip. Hello, so this is the battery for a camera, right? Here, so to use the union section is very easy. There's two kinds of efficient charger available on the market right now. So one this kind and another is this kind. So both works the same. So what we have to do in order to use this kind of charger, it's just pulling the minus and also the plus sign right here to the copper there. So just find yourself to workplace, okay? And then if this kind of charger, once it's inserted, you can see that this one show red color a lot, but usually when you get the universal charger it will be like this. So you have to kind of like move it by yourself and then to see if you see the thing right there, okay? And then press it down. Okay, then eventually we can see that there's a server here if the batteries into the properly and then just pack it to the power source and eventually charger now, and it's full. You can see that this thing is so fuller. Okay, and then for this kind, okay, you can also move this as well, so just find the minusing plus sign. This, okay, and then this thing right here is true like this, and this kind of charger is better a little bit because you can rotate it, so like this. Okay, now to register to so the power cells. Right here, this is the power source. Let's plug it in. You can see that it starts to blink like this now. If the battery is not there, you can see that it just so like this, so that's how it's worked a lot, Sam. For one, you just know I showed you, so yeah, basically that's how I used to do. So thank you.